Coin A is flipped 3 times and coin B is flipped 4 times. What is the probability that the number of heads obtained from flipping the two fair coins is the same? So what we're going to do here is we have coin A and we have coin B. So coin A is flipped 3 times, so that is 3 times, and B is flipped 4 times. So total possibilities for A is 2 times 2, or we can just write 2 square, 2 cubed. So 3 times, so it's 2 cubed, and that is 8. And total possibilities for coin B is 2 to the power 4. That is 16. So that's the total of all the possibilities. Now what they want to know is what is the probability number of heads. So when coin 3 is tossed 3 times, there will be heads. So there could be 1 head. So you could have 1 head, you could have 2 heads, or you could have 3 heads. And or the other thing is no heads or 0 heads. 0 heads meaning all tails. Now for coin 4 again the same, you can have 1 head, you can have 2 head, you can have 3 head, you can have 4 heads because it's tossed the 4th time, but that is not relevant for this question because when it has 4 heads, coin 3, you cannot have 4 heads, so 4 heads is out, but we can have 0 heads. So these are the probabilities that we need to find out individually first, and then we will find them both together and then we add them up. So that's the way to go on. So if I just write, so what is 1 head? So 1 head would mean, so there, what are the possibilities of 1 head? So it could be head, tail and tail. It could be tail, head, tail. It could be tail, tail, head. So P of 1 head equals, there are 3 possibilities, T, tail, tail, head. So okay, so there are 3 possibilities, so probability would be 3 out of 8. Now if you have 2 heads, how many ways can you have 2 heads? You can have 2 heads as H, head, head, and then tail. You could have head, tail, head. You could have tail, not comma there. You could have tail, head, and head. So 2 heads, there are only 3 options. There is no other alternative, is there? So tail takes the last, takes the first. Yeah, no, nothing else possible. So then probability of 2 head is also equal to 3 out of 8. Now then we said it's the probability of 3 heads. So 3 head is head, head, and then head. So that's only one possibility, 1 out of 8. And then 0 heads. The probability of 0 heads would be, this is not O, it's 0. So probability of 0 heads would be all tails. so it will be tail, tail, tail. So that would be 0 heads would be once again 1 out of 8. So now we got to do the same thing for the second one. So for the second one we will do, that is coin B. So for coin B when we do, so then one head will be, how many ways can you get one head? So there are 4 times the coin is tossed. You can have head, tail, tail, tail. Then you can have tail, head, tail, tail. You can have tail, tail, head, tail, 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 head. There's no other way you can get one head. Listed all the possibilities, I hope. So probability of one head here will be 4 out of 8. Okay, we don't simplify now. We can do that later. So then we have to find the probability of 2 heads. So 2 heads can be obtained. H, tail, tail, head, tail, tail, head. Then we got head, tail, head, tail. So the head is in the first place, in the second place, in the fourth place, then in the third place. So now the first place will be taken by the T. The first place is taken by a T, and then you have 2 heads and 2 tails of T. Then you have H and T. Then you have T, then HT, HT. Then you have sorry, that's TH. Otherwise it will be 5 possibilities. So tail, head, then once more you can have tail first, then you have the tail, and then head and head, then you can have tail, and so the tail has taken the first, the second, the third, the fourth. So it's at first, the second tail has taken the last place, it's taken the third place, it's taken the first place. So how many did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many should we get out of 4? C2. If that's the case, we need 2 heads. There are 4 coin tosses, would be 4 times 3 of 1 times 2, 2, so that is 6. So we got all our possibilities. With 2 heads, so that is the probability of 2 head would be 6 out of 8. Sorry, not 8. Why am I writing 8? It's a mistake. 16. Making errors. So it is 16. So that would be, yeah. Then we have to find out the probability of 3 heads. So the probability of 3 heads is going to look like head, first head, then 3 heads and 1 tail. So it will be same as the first one of 1 head. So then you can write head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, and tail, head. So the tail has moved, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So then P of 3H equals 4 out of 16, and 0H, no heads at all, so then all 4 tails is 1 out of 16. So that's the answer. To write B0H. Okay, so that is just all the individual probabilities written. So now we have to combine them. So the idea is that if the probability of the number of heads in coin A matches with that of coin B. So how do we do that? So then we will be multiplying. So if I just delete all these, um, and here also if I delete, so you can forward the video. Takes me a bit longer. So, and finally, and we have some more space to work it out. So what we then do is to combine the probabilities of coin A and coin B. Coin B. So one head for both the coins. So probability of one head in both coins would equal 3 out of 8 times 4 out of 16. That is 12 out of 16 times 8 is 128. The probability of two heads would be 3 out of 8 multiplied by 6 out of 16. That would make it 18 out of 128. The probability of three heads would be 1 out of 8 times 4 out of 16. And that is 4 out of 128. And the probability of 0 heads would be 1 out of 8 multiplied by 1 out of 16, 1 out of 128. Now, so the probability of the number of heads obtained by flipping the two fair coins is the same. So to answer the question now, we have to add up these probabilities. So if we add up these probabilities, we will get you have got the answer already, I think, because you can just add up these individual probabilities and we'd get the answer. Sorry about the delay. So answer would be 12 out of 28, 128 plus 18 out of 128 plus 4 out of 128 plus 1 out of 128, and that would equal 12 plus 18 is 30, and 4 34 and 1 is 35, so 35 out of 128. The answer is 35 out of 128.